Dogs are fascinating creatures with a complex language of their own. While they may not speak our language, they communicate through a variety of behaviors that often leave us wondering what they're trying to tell us. Dogs don't do anything without a reason, even when they seem to be barking at absolutely nothing or stretching dramatically when they see you. What if these seemingly random behaviors actually have deeper meanings? Today, I'll show you the secret language behind these weird dog behaviors and help you understand what your furry friend is really trying to tell you. One of the most entertaining dog behaviors is what's commonly known as the zoomies. You know those moments when your dog suddenly runs around like they just remembered they left the stove on? This wild burst of energy isn't random at all. It's actually called FROPs, or frenetic random activity periods, and it serves an important purpose in your dog's life. Dogs experience zoomies as a way to release pent-up energy. This typically happens after baths, naps, or simply because they're excited about something. Puppies and younger dogs tend to get zoomies more frequently since they naturally have more energy to burn, but even older dogs aren't immune to the occasional zoomie outbreak. It's completely normal and actually a sign of a happy, healthy pup. If your dog gets the zoomies, it's best to give them space to run it out. Just make sure they don't zoom straight into your furniture. Some dog owners find that their dogs get particularly energetic after bath time, running around the house like little tornadoes. This is their way of celebrating being clean, or perhaps trying to dry off in the most chaotic way possible. However, there are a few things to watch for with zoomies. If your dog gets them too often and seems overly hyper throughout the day, they might need more regular exercise. A good walk or play session can help channel that energy in a more controlled way. On the flip side, if zoomies suddenly stop happening in a dog that usually gets them, it could potentially signal low energy or health issues, so it's worth keeping an eye on any dramatic changes in behavior. Another weird dog move is when they sneeze at you during play or when greeting you. No, your dog isn't allergic to your face. This is actually a sophisticated form of communication that dogs have developed. Dogs use sneezing as a way to signal playfulness. According to research from Oslo University, dogs sneeze during play to show they're just having fun, not actually being aggressive. Ever notice how they do it mid-play fight? That's their way of saying, "Hey, this is all fun and games." It helps prevent play from escalating into something more serious. They might also sneeze when they're excited to see you. Some experts believe this is their way of mimicking human social cues, since we sneeze and make noises when reacting to things. It's like they're trying to speak our language in their own way. One dog owner shared that their dog would sneeze whenever they were annoyed, like when their son farted while the dog was on his lap. The dog hopped off, sneezed dramatically, and went to his bed, refusing to come back when called. This shows how dogs use these signals to express a wide range of emotions, not just playfulness. However, if your dog sneezes constantly outside of these social situations, it could be allergies, dust, or even something stuck in their nose. If the sneezing seems excessive or is accompanied by other symptoms like nasal discharge, it's worth checking with a veterinarian to rule out any health issues. Some dogs would trade their favorite toy for an unlimited belly rub subscription. But why do they love it so much? The science behind belly rubs is actually quite fascinating. Belly rubs activate special nerve endings that make dogs feel good. According to research from Washington State University, petting dogs, especially on their bellies, releases oxytocin, the feel-good hormone that strengthens the bond between you and your pet. When a dog rolls onto their back, exposing their vulnerable belly, it's also a significant sign of trust. Your dog is essentially saying, "I feel safe with you." However, not all dogs love belly rubs. Some only roll onto their backs to show submission, not because they want pets. How can you tell the difference? Watch their body language carefully. A happy, wiggly pup with a relaxed body posture genuinely loves belly rubs. If their tail wags while they're on their back, that's a belly rub green light. But if your dog seems stiff or tense while lying on their back, they might not actually be enjoying it. The scratch reflex that sometimes happens during belly rubs, when your dog's leg starts kicking like they're trying to start a motorcycle, isn't actually a sign they're loving it. It's an involuntary response similar to the reflex test your doctor performs on your knee. Rubbing their belly activates nerves under the skin connected to their spinal cord, which automatically triggers the kicking motion. In nature, this reflex helps dogs get rid of irritants like insects, so it's a protective mechanism rather than an expression of enjoyment. Have you seen your dog placing their paws on you like they're making an important announcement? This behavior can mean several different things depending on the context. Sometimes, pawing is their way of saying, "Hey, I love you," or expressing affection. Other times, they just want attention, especially if you've stopped petting them and they're not ready for the session to end. Dogs also use their paws to comfort you when you're sad or upset. They might place a paw on you as if to say, "I'm here for you." It's actually a remarkably sweet gesture that shows how in tune they are with our emotions. But let's be real, sometimes they do it because they know it works. Dogs are masters of manipulation, in the most adorable way possible. They've learned through experience that pawing at you gets them belly rubs, treats, or whatever else they want. One dog owner shared that their dog puts a paw on them whenever they're hungry, like saying, "Hey, gimme something." If your dog paws at you constantly and it becomes bothersome, you can train them to stop by consistently ignoring the behavior and rewarding them when they interact with you in other ways. But really, who can resist those puppy eyes and gentle paws? It's one of the many ways our dogs have perfectly adapted to living with humans. One of the greatest mysteries that has confused dog owners for years is when your dog stares into the void and barks like they see a ghost. What's actually happening in these moments? First, it's important to understand that dogs have superior hearing compared to humans. They can pick up sounds we can't detect, like high-pitched frequencies or distant noises. So your dog isn't necessarily barking at nothing. They're likely barking at something you simply can't hear. This could be another animal outside, someone walking past your home, or even mechanical sounds from appliances that are outside our hearing range. Second, dogs have an amazing sense of smell that far surpasses our own. They might bark at a scent drifting in the air that we're completely unaware of. It could be another animal nearby, even if it's miles away. Their noses are so sensitive that they can detect things we would never notice. And yes, some dogs just bark out of habit or boredom. If they bark and you react, even negatively, they learn that barking gets attention. So sometimes they're just keeping themselves entertained or trying to engage with you. If the mysterious barking happens often at night, it might be worth checking if something is actually out there, like wildlife in your yard. But if it's just the occasional ghost bark, don't worry, your dog isn't summoning spirits, probably. Ever notice how dogs do that adorable head tilt when you talk to them? It's like they're really trying to understand what you're saying, and it turns out, they are. Dogs tilt their heads to better locate sounds. Their ear positioning helps them figure out where a noise is coming from, and if you say something in an interesting tone, they're trying to pick up key words they recognize. Experts have found that it's also a way for dogs to read our facial expressions better. Dogs rely on visual cues as much as sound, so tilting their heads might help them see our faces more clearly, especially if they have longer muzzles that might otherwise block part of their view. And let's not ignore the possibility that they know we love it. Dogs are incredibly perceptive, and if tilting their head gets a positive reaction from you, they'll keep doing it. It's another example of how our pets have learned to communicate with us in ways that strengthen our bond. The head tilt can also help dogs judge distance better, which is particularly useful when they're trying to locate something interesting. So next time your dog tilts their head at you, know that they're not just being cute, they're actively trying to understand you better. Another behavior that makes us wonder why? Is tail chasing. It's like your dog suddenly realizes they have a tail and must catch it immediately, spinning in circles like a furry tornado. Puppies often do this because they're still learning about their bodies. It's like discovering your own shadow for the first time. They're genuinely surprised and intrigued by this thing that follows them everywhere. But when adult dogs chase their tails, there could be different reasons behind it. They might be doing it out of boredom, excitement, or even instinct. Some breeds like German Shepherds and Terriers are more prone to tail chasing. It's part of their high-energy nature and prey drive. A quick spin can be a way to release excess energy or simply entertain themselves. However, if a dog obsessively chases their tail, it could indicate anxiety or a medical issue like flea irritation, skin problems, or even neurological conditions. If it's just occasional and playful, there's usually no need to worry. But if your dog can't stop or seems distressed while doing it, it's worth consulting with a veterinarian. Finally, let's talk about that big, dramatic stretch your dog does when they see you, front legs extended, back arched, often accompanied by a yawn. This is known as the greeting stretch, and dogs do it when they're excited yet relaxed around someone they trust. But here's the twist, it's not always just a greeting. Dogs also stretch this way when they're waking up, shaking off stiffness, or even subtly inviting playtime. If they stretch and then wag their tail or pounce, they're probably in the mood for fun. Some dogs also do it to release tension, kind of like how we stretch after sitting too long. The greeting stretch is actually a complex behavior that communicates multiple things at once. It says I'm happy to see you, but also, I'm comfortable enough around you to stretch and make myself vulnerable. It's a sign of both excitement and trust, which is why it's so endearing to see. Many dog owners have noticed that their dogs will stretch specifically to greet them after being apart, almost like a special ritual just for their favorite humans. One person shared that their dog does 2 yoga-like stretching exercises regularly. First, putting their front paws on the bed while moving down with their body, and then laying on the bed with front paws on the ground and back legs completely stretched backward. These personalized stretching routines show how dogs develop their own unique ways of communicating with us. Understanding these dog behaviors makes you a pro at decoding your pup's quirks, but there's so much more to learn about canine communication. Dogs have evolved alongside humans for thousands of years, developing sophisticated ways to interact with us that go far beyond barking and tail wagging. By paying attention to these subtle behaviors, you can better understand what your dog needs and strengthen your bond with them. After all, they're constantly trying to communicate with us. We just need to learn their language. If you found this information helpful, please subscribe to our channel for more insights into dog behavior and training tips. Share this video with other dog lovers who might benefit from understanding their furry friends better. The more we understand our dogs, the happier and healthier our relationships with them will be. I find that one thing people don't seem to realize is the extent to which dogs communicate through breathing. You can have entire conversations with your dog through various breathings, yet so few people seem to understand this subtle form of communication. Dogs use different patterns of breathing to express everything from contentment to anxiety, and learning to recognize these patterns can give you incredible insight into what your dog is thinking and feeling. Next time you're with your dog, pay attention to their breathing patterns. A slow, steady breath often indicates relaxation, while quick, shallow breathing might signal excitement or stress. Some dogs even use deliberate sighs to communicate with their owners, perhaps expressing contentment after settling down or mild frustration when they're bored. It's a fascinating aspect of canine communication that deserves more attention. Remember, understanding your dog's language isn't just about making your relationship more enjoyable. It can also help you identify potential health or behavioral issues before they become serious problems. So keep watching, keep learning, and keep communicating with your amazing four-legged friend. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with anyone who would benefit from better understanding their dog's secret language. Your furry friend will thank you for it.